And welcome back to USC After Dark in the semifinals stage. We've got our other winners bracket match here. Number 1 seeded North California coming up against our 2-time defending champion Virginia team at seed 4. This is a matchup that I don't have the document open, so I don't have the full history with me. But these teams are mainstays to make it to this stage of the tournament and beyond. Both teams are very familiar with success in this tournament and are not used to finding defeat. Even this early in the semifinal stage, it's almost an expectation for either of these squads make it all the way to the winners finals. But only one team can go and face New York in the next stage, and that's going to be one of these two squads. I'm Miles, and joining me once again here on the Late Night Cast is Chillier Pair. What's up, man?
I got a chocolate chip cookie. This is a great time.
All right.
This is a great time.
I'm going to open up Yoshi Lover's document and see if there's history from this matchup again.
This is going to be a very cool matchup. There's so much history between all of the different variations of the NorCal roster that we've seen all time. And Virginia as, like, the new dynasty that California used to be in United States Cup. And they've just been getting better as the tournament progresses. You know, we just before this got the chance to see what New York was really capable of in United States Cup this year. And they've been doing that the entire tournament. New York has been on their A game the whole time. Virginia was a little more shaky at the start of the tournament. People were a little confused as to how well they were going to do this year, because even from week 1 in the round of 31 USC this year, Virginia struggled to even beat teams like Wisconsin in the round of 32, and were potentially on the verge of losing should those states have not been missing some of their key players. But as the tournament has continued to progress through, Virginia has started to slowly come into form. And last week, I think, was really the first time that we saw what Virginia was fully capable of in United States Cup. And that's saying a lot, considering how well New York has been playing this tournament. Virginia still ended up being the number 1 performing team of the quarterfinals by a pretty significant margin, putting up triple FCs on multiple maps. So after the performance we saw from New York in the match prior to this one, I'm very interested to see how well Virginia is going to scale into this pool.
For a little bit of history now, so this is from Yoshi Lover's document, so all credit goes to him. This is the 4th meeting between these two states. Historically, Virginia are 2-1 in the matches won, and North California is 15-2 in match, or 15-12 in matches won. So, despite having more wins, NorCal actually has the lead in maps won, and that's because of a very strong 6-1 victory from 2019. Their most recent showing was in 2024, where Virginia won in the semifinals match in a tiebreaker, sorry. So, yeah, Virginia won last time. And also, NorCal has lost their last 3 semifinals matches, losing to Florida in 2022, 2023, and Virginia in 24. So, NorCal having not found success in this stage for quite a while, so gonna see if they can get through the hump this time up against a team like Virginia.
Should be interesting. I think these two teams also have, you know, on paper, very varying skill sets. And, you know, I didn't talk about it here. We talked about it a little bit, you know, well before the match that we had earlier today. But as a player on the team, I would like to note that I mentioned that NorCal is very similar to what I see in a team like Texas this year, where they have 2 really good gimmick players, and then in between those 2 really good gimmick players, they have 4 mechanical gods on the roster who will be able to play every tapping and aim map that you can throw at them all the way through Grand Finals, because their skill cap goes that high. Virginia, on the other hand, they have the consistency and they have the aim, but they have so many more players that fall into that all-rounder category. that I do wonder how the picking strategy works out for both sides, because I think California, you sort of expect to pick pretty hard into a lot of those mechanics maps, and maybe even some onto that end in a normal matchup. But with Virginia, they have more of a variable command over a general map pool, and sometimes that works in their favor. But against a team like NorCal, on a pool like this, where there's quite a few mechanically oriented picks, that could make this match fairly difficult for them, because NorCal's able to put up maybe those double and triple FCs on maps like the DT2 and the Stream Hidden and the Stream Free mods. And that is why this sort of gets interesting, despite Virginia traditionally being the winner of United States Cup in previous years.
Yeah, as you said, it's kind of tough to form a pick strategy against a team like Virginia, because, as you said, their best players are all all-rounders. Like, you have to pick against Rectigon and RNG here, and when it comes to that, I mean, NorCal does have one boon in that there is one guaranteed weakness between those two players, and that's RNG on speed, and they do have arguably the strongest speed roster in the tournament, or tapping roster full stop there, so that does give you access to those maps like DT2, DT3, Fremont 1 should be very strong for them. I don't necessarily want to say the Hidden 2 because that map is difficult for more reasons than just the tapping, but that's also potentially an option for them. But yeah, this NorCal roster, I feel like it's much more formulaic what their pick strategy should be, because they just have that overarching strength in the tapping picks that they can call upon, where Virginia, it's more like, okay, Rectigon, RNG, what are you guys good at? And we have the backing players to fill any such niche that you might need. Like in the lobby, you see one Tabby right now playing with the Easy. That guy, I think, is a huge wild card in this matchup, because when one Tabby's playing at his best, he can easily change the outcome of a match on his own. Just so strong on those gimmicks. And then you also have players like Failing, who are probably going to fill on mechanics and do really well. And players like Uzumaki, who, if he's not still in Japan, will come in on the Hard Rock and do extremely well.
I think you have to wonder from a team like California, where they do have a lot of star mechanical players, but for Virginia, I think on the best day possible for both of these teams, Virginia has traditionally proven themselves to be the more well-rounded roster. Failing had an amazing week last week. RNG and Rectigon, for the first time that we've seen this tournament, had a great day as a duo. And like you said with One Tabby, not necessarily just in for those gimmick maps like a lot of players with One Tabby's skill set would be. One Tabby can play a lot of the other skill sets through here, as long as they're really not super tapping oriented. And that is another point in favor of Virginia that NorCal is going to have to figure out a way to navigate outside of just the tapping and mechanics-based picks that they've proven themselves to be so good at. And the consistency is always really the question with California. We know they have players who can match up to the skill set necessary of a USC quarterfinals pool. The question is, are they consistent enough to match the double and triple FCs that we've seen from Virginia in previous weeks? And that's what we're going to have to wait to see until we get into these first couple picks, is like, if you get Woodchi on a good day, he's demonic. He will FC 99% of maps in a pool, maybe a one miss here and there. Flaro has had some really good weeks in this tournament thus far as well. Jackson's great at the mechanic style. If you get Fiery Rage on a good day, you have an unbelievable, technical force in the lobby as well, on not just gimmick, but some of these tech maps like Nomod 2 as well. So there's a lot of versatility on this California roster that is more up in the air.
Yeah, and unfortunately for NorCal, as we've seen so far in this weekend, I think the more straightforward tapping teams aren't really getting the maps that they want in this pool. Because you have maps like the Fremont 1, which are the straightforward tapping, but that just gets banned out. And then after that, all of the maps that have tapping involved as a main skill set, they also have other skill sets involved. Like maybe otherwise, like say if you're a speed team and Fremont 1 is banned, you have what? The DT2, you've got the DT2. After that, you're picking something that has other skill sets involved. Like you have aim in DT1, you have finger control in DT3, you've got fucking hidden streams, dude, with awkward flow aim in the Hidden 2. You've got Flow Aim in the Hard Rock 1. You don't really have too many straightforward tapping maps in this pool. And that has played to the advantage of teams like Oregon, who have really, really strong, I guess, all-rounders, but aren't necessarily, like, speed teams, you know?
I agree, and it looks like these two teams are sort of thinking along the same lines as us right now as we see the bands sort of come out here. It's going to be the DT4 band for NorCal. Probably not the gimmick roster that they want to have for that map, and that's very understandable against Virginia if you don't have a gimmick roster that can play some semblance of tapping. That map becomes very difficult for you. And, you know, Virginia with players like One Tabby and RNG and all of them are really going to be good at that sort of thing. Virginia banning out the Hard Rock 3, exactly what we were talking about before. NorCal so good at those base level mechanics maps, those consistency, you know, picks through here. And even though Virginia has the roster for it, you want to take that away from NorCal. You want to remove that from the Flaro, you know, Woodchi / Jackson combo of that sort of realm, you know. So getting that out of here early is going to be very, very good for them, as well as a lot like Window Life as well, who I have actually failed to mention thus far, who is an unbelievable addition to that mechanics roster and is probably the closest thing to California has to an all-rounder here. It's going to be the Jazz's Rad band from NorCal, though, which is a little bit more surprising. I definitely would have thought NorCal would keep some of these hidden picks up more consistently. And then it's the double mechanics band from Virginia. They're going to continue pretty solid here. So maybe a little bit more variation from NorCal, but Virginia, pretty par for the course. Get rid of the mechanics, get rid of the tapping, remove it immediately.
But even then, the Fremont 1 is up, so there is still a straightforward tapping map in the pool, but maybe one that the players on Virginia are going to be more comfortable with. But yeah, as you mentioned, Window Life is the dynamo that we somehow failed to mention. You could say if Rectigon has been the best player in the US over the last few years, right now Window Life is the closest thing to beating him right now. He is absolutely unbelievable, and when he's going on a tear, there is nobody on this goddamn hemisphere that can beat him. So we're gonna look to see if he is going on one of those heaters, because if he's having a good day, that's where this match becomes really, really interesting. But here we go with the first pick. Virginia gonna go for the Hard Rock 2.
I agree. I'm so with everything Virginia has done in this match thus far, and I'm not usually on board 100% with the picking and banning strategies of some teams in USC in the early onset. I think Virginia has gone, like, picture perfect with the pick and ban phase. They know exactly what NorCal's strengths are. They get rid of the mechanics early. They know exactly what they're good at, and it's the hard rock maps. Virginia has such a versatile hard rock roster. Dare I say they might actually be better at hard rock than New York, and that's saying a lot. I think the versatility of Virginia's hard rock roster may have them beat by a tiny bit. But against NorCal on a tech-oriented hard rock map, you have to be careful of players like Window Life, but when you've got Rectigon and RNG on your roster for a hard rock pick, I'd say the Window Life gambit starts to matter a hell of a lot less.
Yeah, I mean, Window Life and RNG, or not Window Life, sorry, Rectigon and RNG might be the best duo we've seen in this tournament in a very long time. I mean, since Toy was joining Fiery on NorCal, I mean, those two have been the key for Virginia to be winning these last two titles in the last 2 years, so.
They're big.
Yeah, they are big. But
they're the Taquito and Pez of, like, the Middle East Coast, like.
Exactly, yeah. So we've got RNG, Rectigon, and Failing. I'm getting thrown off because Rectigon's name is Window Life.
Window Life.
I'm seeing him, and I'm just like, oh, Window Life, and then I just like, oh
Window
shit, no,
Life,
that's Rectigon. So yeah, Window Life is Hot Dog 4000 on the other side. So 4,000 glizzies on the bottom left corner of your screen on NorCal to join Woodchi and Fiery Rage on this Hard Rock Tech pick. First pick coming out from Virginia. Haven't seen this map at all this weekend, right?
No, we haven't. Yeah, this is, I think, the first time we've seen this, and it's an early slider break for Fiery Rage on that Buzz slider there. It is possible to get caught on that if you don't alternate it, as has happened in practice. 1/3 section catching all of Virginia, and actually Woodchi and Window Life both absolutely nailing it. One of the hardest patterns in the entire map to be consistent on, besides some of the slider tick ones later. And it's RNG to stand alone against Woodchi right now. Fiery Rage putting up a good supporting score after that initial break, but it's RNG to find the miss. And Window Life trades out with yet another slider break. Fiery Rage, low accuracy, but high combo right now, and Woodchi doing all the work. This lead is so small for California on that 89% from Woodchi, going for hella combo here.
Yeah, I mean, lowest accuracy in the lobby, but by golly, he can combo, so that's what matters.
He's in, and it's big. It's big right now. Look how fast that lead's going up with the combo.
And then this next slider section, Fiery drops, RNG, and Rectigon drop. So it's just failing with the combo. Window Life to support Woodchi, but there he goes. So now it's a combo lead for Virginia, and the lead is very low, just 90k. Some chain misses could send that back in favor of Virginia, but it's going to be failing to find the drop. So that's the biggest combo down, and Window Life is there.
It's possible to miss at this ending section. The Buzz Sliders catch off Window Life and Fiery Rage. It's Rectigon and RNG, but they both slider break. It's 40k. Wait, this could go back at the ending if California continues finding misses. Are we going to see a break point right at the first pick? It's 30k, Miles. It's so close. It's RNG. A miss from RNG. He's going to throw it away to California, and the spinner won't be enough. It's a break point to NorCal at the absolute last second off of a slider break. And it's 1 S rank per team. Woodchi out of there immediately. He doesn't want anyone seeing that score, but NorCal pulls through.
And you could see who are matching each other. The two Titans themselves, Rectigon and Window Life. And quite honestly, that score lead, that might literally just be the difference between those two players. Just about 30k between them, just about 25k between these two players. Just insane stuff.
Wow, what a performance from NorCal to hold that one off. And honestly, surprising performance from Virginia. They had a little bit extra struggle on the start of that map where you wouldn't normally expect people to be finding breaks. And honestly, that entire 28k score difference was the fact that all three players on Virginia broke on those quick 1/3 sliders at the start of the map. If even one player on Virginia hit those, that's that 30k score right back there. So the fact that NorCal had two players combo through that section was unbelievable for them, and maybe a little bit of luck playing in there, but we certainly won't discount the performance of NorCal to be able to match up on the opening pick from Virginia.
Hey, I mean, against a team like Virginia, I mean, you said before, they've been playing close matches all tournaments. I'm sure that this breakpoint won't phase them too much, unlike a matchup like the previous one we just saw with New York. I think this is one where Virginia is willing to fight because, as we mentioned, Rectigon and RNG, they ain't specialists. They can play just about everything in this map pool combined, or they have the roster for it at the very least. So even if they lose that first pick, I'm sure they're confident they could take something later in this match. But for NorCal, they are going to go with that bread and butter speed map. Megalomania finally left unbanned. They can unleash their full speed roster on that. We're going to see some Window Life, Jackson, Flaro, or Woodchi action on this map.
This is going to be the interesting one here because we've given NorCal the advantage on these sort of tapping maps. We've recognized that center four for them is the major grouping that we're looking for, and I'm almost expecting. I don't know who to expect on the last for this one because it's always a 50-50, I think, between like Woodchi, Flaro, Jackson, and Window Life. I definitely think Window Life is going to come in for this one. I would potentially put Woodchi on the Hard Rock with that, and then Flaro on the Hidden, actually. Flaro's been doing a great job with these hidden plays on the free mod tapping maps, and to give Flaro a map where she can just shred with the tapping, even with the hidden performance, is going to be such a comfortable spot. I mean, you know Window Life is going to be able to play either that hard rock or the Nomod. And honestly, we could see an overmod, given how big these circles are. It's CS3. We could easily see a double hard rock from either of these teams, but you can't count out Virginia on this sort of thing. You know, Rectigon failing, League on this map failing, and Rectigon have been a crazy duo for tapping this tournament so far. And if Gleek can maintain the stamina on this map, which is very possible considering it's more bursty than anything, this could be a fairly close map as long as these jump parts don't catch off either side here. And it looks like the mods are going to be exactly what I expected. The double hard rock from NorCal with Flaro on the hidden. It's Rectigon on the hard rock as expected. Glee gonna take the hidden and failing. Gonna be trying to put up that consistency Nomod play.
I see Jackson in the chat saying that. Can you believe NorCal has so many speed players they can afford to have a player like Jackson on the bench for this?
That's true.
A1 speed player by all means, but when you have so many good speed players, you can afford to gauge each one's comfort. Yeah, as you can see, in the beginning, everyone looks fairly comfortable. Rectigon gonna find that early break. I mean, it's fine. This map is very long, 4.5 minutes. Doesn't matter, but he's gonna be down about 300 combo now. And Gleeg down on the accuracy as well. So it's gonna be pretty decent early lead for NorCal here with some strong accuracies, especially on Flaro, outdoing everyone in the lobby.
That accuracy on Gleeg is actually doing a significant amount of damage. Gleeg's still below Rectigon's score, even with the break from Rectigon, about 300 combo in because of that accuracy. And it is actually going to be impossible for Gleeg to surpass that, even with this play from Window Life. It is going to be a trade between Gleeg and Flaro that does favor NorCal, though. They already had the early break on Rectigon, and the accuracies are high enough on Woodchi and Window Life, but it's actually going to be a miss on the aim from Woodchi. Wow, tapping player misses on aim. Who would have seen that one coming before? As failing with that Nomod may end up paying off for Virginia having that consistency performance without the mod.
And the Gleeg miss was a Bancho break, actually.
Oh, it
so
was. Wow.
He's still holding on to the FC. It's still a two-way FC with the Rectigon reverse choke. Going into this chorus section here, it's Virginia taking the lead, but still with the big combo on Window Life, keeping NorCal in it, with Flaro bringing the combo back as well. So there's still a lot of map to go. Any miss could send this one back. Failing drops a little bit of back. It still holds his combo. And everyone has made it through this chorus.
It's a tiny lead for Virginia, and once again, it's on the back of that low accuracy for Gleeg right now. 94% doing no favors as we come into the most stamina-intensive section of the map right now. These continuous longer bursts with the mids. It's going to be Gleeg, another with a break, but that could have been Bancho again. It looks like it was on a kick slider. That could be an actual slider break. We'll see if it maintains for this section, but that's going to be a pretty decent combo lead for NorCal if that was an actual slider break from Gleeg there. I'm always wary about those kick slider patterns. Nobody gets caught on that slider. It's going to be Woodchi with a break, though, and given how long this combo break has lasted for Gleeg, I think that was a real one. And it's Flaro to find a break alongside on the aim section, failing, and Rectigon going to be the two to hold through that. It's a miss from failing, and we're on a 1v1 once again, Miles. Rectigon Window Life, the 1v1 prevails in another map. Who holds through? Window Life with a combo advantage.
Yep, who else but those two, man? I mean, you've got Window Life and his Window Wife on the other side. I mean, those two bound by the hip. Can't separate those two. And right now, it's all eyes on them. The Hard Rock players. It's going to be inching just so slowly in favor of NorCal, but they need to see more breaks from Virginia for that to be definitive. Preferably, they need to see one come out from Rectigon, but you'd be hard-pressed to ever wish for that in a matchup.
Look at Window Life's accuracy, too. 1% higher than Rectigon. And Rectigon is an amazing tapping player, but it just goes to show how strong Window Life is on these sorts of maps here. And the backing combo from both of their teammates holding well. Woodchi actually going to get caught out as I say that, and that's going to be a fairly decent good advantage for Virginia here, given the fact that they're down on the accuracy. They need the extra combo. Again, it's that 93% from Gleeg right now. That is doing so much damage. This 40k could easily be triple what it is right now if Gleeg was alongside the teammates. It's a break from failing, and that's going to get dangerous for Virginia at the ending here. Again, this 94% for Gleeg any hundreds or any misses at the ending here could give this one away to NorCal. It's 30K. It's a break from failing. Is it going to send it over at the last possible second? It's so close at the ending. Are we going to see another 20K lead for a team? And it is. It's a break point right back by the same margin.
What did we say? Virginia, they don't care about that first break point because they took it right back in just as close of a fashion.
FC on window life, man. 1,035,000 on the Hard Rock. 98% accuracy. Again, to speak of how impressive it is to beat Rectigon's accuracy by a full percent on a mechanics tapping map is unbelievable. What a performance. Almost sub 50 100s.
Yeah, but now we're back to a little best of 9 here for the rest of this match. So, pick for Virginia. Curious to see where they go because that HR Tech didn't really work out for them. I'm wondering if they want to go for something else here because, as I've been talking about in the matches I did tonight, I think that the gimmick is really pronounced in this pool compared to some other pools, especially with the aim control in maps like Nomod 5. And just overall, you have Agony and Sumujikaze in the same free mod pool. Like, I'm wondering to see if either team decides to really opt into that. And I think between these two, it would be Virginia to go into it, but curious to see what they go for here. They're taking their time on this pick.
They are, and this match is going to be a close one here. First seed versus fourth seed, going to be turning some heads as opposed to that second versus third seed we just saw earlier that ended in a 6-1. And it's going to be the Nomod 1 coming out from Virginia here as we go through. Speaking of close matches, we do have 2 matches going on right now, and down on the B stream is going to be Colorado versus Washington for those that are interested in seeing double United States Cup right now. And that one not going too well for Washington at the current moment, Miles. It's 4-1 in favor of Colorado as the lower seeded team in that matchup, by the way. 10th versus 11th seed in Colorado making quick work so far.
Yeah, I know the key thing there was, is Washington going to have the skill cap to really contend on this map pool? And if Colorado's taken such a definitive advantage, maybe we've got an answer to that question. But going on here, we've got an aim pick coming out from Virginia. We've got Aces High, Miss Magius map. This map has a lot of fast aim in it. And that goes to the strength of, I think, RNG in particular on Virginia. This is one of those maps where you see probably RNG, Rectigon, and Failing go in. And those three are going to be extremely strong on a fast aim map like this.
Yeah, this is going to be so far into Virginia's wheelhouse right now. But again, you cannot discount either of these teams on the opposing picks. And I think that it's so cool that we get to see so many of the mechanics maps getting picked out at the early onset of this match, because we really get to see the best of what these two teams are made of when you pick out the mechanics here. Like, sure, both sides have pretty decent gimmick rosters in here, but we're really here to see a mechanics battle between these two teams, which is exactly why it's so cool that we've seen breakpoints go back and forth on both sides, because it just proves how strong both of these rosters are at each other's skill sets and how hard they've worked to continue to maintain their places at the top. As we get the good lucks out here and an immediate start, it's a prime aim roster for Virginia coming in here, and it looks like the same mechanics roster running for NorCal. Certainly not a bad shout, but I do worry because we saw the majority of breaks on Megalomania come on the aim sections for NorCal.
But those are a bit of a different vibe because, you know, you have a speed map with basically no aim in all of it, and then you get jump scared by a quick alt flow aim section. This one, it's all fast aim all the way through, so their aims are going to be adjusted for it. Not going to get jump scared by any patterns in here. You can see instantly gets into the fast aim, catches out Woodshi early.
Early start here. It's going to be Flaro to find a first break on that that burst edition there. Failing had an early break about halfway through, but it's Woodshi to basically match that one. So Flaro's is really the only extra break here. Accuracy sitting fairly high on Virginia as well, and this is where that RNG Rectigon combo comes in on the aim. And AIM players, take a seat and watch. This is a masterclass from Virginia. They were one of the best teams on the Hard Rock AIM map last week, and on the Fremont, RNG finally finding a slider break on that section, but not without Rectigon continuing to hold all the way through. It's 400k in favor of Virginia, and this is a short map here as California gets shut out immediately on this one.
Yeah, I mean, in the blink of an eye, 480k lead and rising fast. Flaro really not able to find her footing on this, 91%, not really able to find any combo. Meanwhile, still Rectigon holding on to the FC, going into the very end. Let's see if he can get that.
Into the ending here. There's not a lot of time left. There's a pretty decent aim section at the ending here with the squares, but he does hit it with the burst. And I think it's just back and forth 1-2s into the ending here. And there it is, Rectigon with the aim. And if it wasn't obvious what Virginia is good at compared to California, well, there you go. It's the aim. 852,000 in favor of Virginia. That's a pretty stark difference considering the score difference between maps 1 and 2 combined was about 50,000.
Yeah, almost a 1v3 for Rectigon. I didn't have the score exactly there, so I can't confirm that, but it looks like it almost was. And Virginia, I mean, you look at the scores here, I think this is perfect proof for you to pick some hidden one after this. Next aim map in the pool should also go well for you there. I mean, Flaro really struggled on that. They might not have a full aim roster.
Surprised Flaro struggled on that. I definitely sort of expect those like higher level speed players to be very, very good at alt aim, at least to some extent. 191k is definitely further, you know, into the realm of being uncomfortable than I would have seen. So, you know, we'll see what happens later on for NorCal, but if Virginia has an in on the aim, then it's going to be a very, very different story for the remainder of this match here, because there's quite a few picks left that Virginia is going to be able to capitalize on if that is the case, especially within that free mod pool in that free mod 2. It's going to be DT3 first from NorCal. Get some of that stamina finger control in.
Pretty much the last pure tapping map left in the pool there. This map is extremely long. I think it's almost 5 minutes. And it's just stamina finger control all the way through. Yeah, you can see that length, 457. 150 on DT, so that's about, that's 234, I believe, or 235.
Yeah.
So that, but for 5 minutes, and it doesn't ever really stop. So yeah, this is just tapping player's dream.
This is going to be potentially the ace in the sleeve for NorCal on the tapping, but you always have to wonder, does the finger control play into this map a little bit? Do we see NorCal potentially struggle on the finger control aspect of this stamina map, where Virginia, you know, might be a little bit weaker on the stamina? They make up in the finger control. Likewise with NorCal, where they might be weaker on the finger control, they may make up in having the stamina. So the trade-off of that is what is going to make all the difference on this map in these early sections here. And we've seen some low accuracy almost FCs on this map this weekend, so it is certainly possible to forego the finger control in lieu of combo if you have the stamina, which is why I like this pick from NorCal.
And we're seeing Jackson come in Flaro's spot compared to the last tapping map that was played. This one probably fits a little more towards Jackson's strengths, while the free mod one was pure speed and stamina. This one, a lot more finger control. It's more of, I would say, a tournament DT map. And Jackson definitely a lot more experience on this type, so no surprise to see him finally coming in. Meanwhile, got Rectigon Glee again failing for Virginia. But as we mentioned on paper, I think this one really fits the NorCal roster very well. Woodshy, Window Life, and Jackson. Not too many three-mans in this country you can make that'll be better than this on a tapping pick.
That's very true, and hopefully we get Jackson in, considering he is our music in client number 1 as we continue to play through the map without his presence. There we go. I was like, this is gonna be very interesting without our audio client. All right, we are in. It is slightly in favor of NorCal, and that's off of some breaks from Virginia very early on in here. Low accuracy on Gleeg, failing to find a misread on the finger control, it seems. High accuracy, so a quick slip up. I'm not anticipating too many more given that, but there's a lot of time left in here for things to happen between these two teams, given this is just over 3 minutes of finger control.
As we reach the quarter-way mark, the misses are going to start to get really impactful here as we get into this finger control section with the triples. And also, don't underestimate the aim on this section. Those linear triples can catch you off if you aren't prepared for them. Just a little miss-aim. So easy. In the square, we saw a miss on it last match, but nobody going to be breaking there this time. Still looking very strong is NorCal. Just the earlier misses from Gleeg and failing. No one else has found any. Okay. That's one from Jackson there, finding the slider break. Now it's going to be a slight combo lead for Virginia. But
failing!
Not anymore. Failing finds the drop, and so does Gleeg. Okay, never mind. Woodshi will trade it out, though, so once again, who's going to be holding the FCs?
This accuracy for Jackson is making a lot of difference for NorCal right now. High 98% accuracy, the highest in the entire lobby for Jackson. And if you're going to have a player find a break, you might as well make it the one that's got the accuracy to boot. It's 470k for Jackson. Still higher than both Failing and Gleeg. Woodshi's matching one of them, which means that there is an unchecked 80 to 100k on Jackson alone right now, which is giving NorCal all of the lead. A single break from one of these supporting combos on NorCal, and that could go south pretty quickly, but everyone hitting that hexagon jump right there. It's still Window Life and Rectigon, and are we going to see yet another double FC? Will the supporting combos make all the difference? I think it's likely.
I mean, at this rate, got one more intense finger control section. It catches out Failing. Gleeg still holds on, but it looks a lot stronger for NorCal right now. But still, there's a lot of note density here. If a couple breaks do come in, that lead can go in a blink of an eye, but it looks like going into the ending here, there's not enough time. We've got a long spinner left, and it's going to be the double FC from Window Life and Rectigon again, but the better supporting scores this time from NorCal. Jackson with 770k, Woodshi with 660k, and that is going to be 2-2 now in this matchup. Team stabilizing after the early breakpoints.
That's the good one there, and I, again, continue to like these picks from both teams. They know exactly what they're getting themselves into, and Window Life continuing to be the player that we expect him to be. 19 100s, besting even Jackson at 24 100s, an extremely impressive play. But this is Window Life's bread and butter. This is what you expect him to come in and just absolutely shred. No questions asked. Rectigon doing a great job to try and match that score for Virginia. It was the supporting combos that did end up mattering, considering it was only about 20k difference between those two FCs on the accuracy alone. It was really the early continued misses from the Virginia support, and a high score, I will add, for both of those teams. That's 2.6 million to 2.4 million. That is quite the team score on either side here. So the first and fourth seed duking it out to the end on these, as we see Hidden 1, and Virginia continues to know that they can push that aim.
Yeah, I mean, after that Nomod 1, this Hidden 1 makes so much sense. I mean, NorCal didn't look like they really had a stable aim roster after Flaro just didn't even, I don't even think Flaro got above 200k on that previous map, so go into the next big aim map, probably going to look good if you're Virginia, and I think that's the right way to go about it. With RNG and Rectigon, just aim is just such a strong skill set for them. The one thing I'm curious about, though, is the Hidden. Is Failing going to come in for the Hidden again? Because Failing was the strong third on the Nomod 1. But with Hidden enabled, it's a bit of a different story for him. I wonder who will it be. It might be Gleeg, because he's sitting in the lobby right now, but I'm not sure.
That's true. It should be an interesting one. I'm not liking the NorCal mental on this one. I don't know if Fiery Rage is playing this, but seems to have a little bit of an issue with the timing on this map. Now, I am going to wholeheartedly disagree with that because I don't think even my ass, who is terrible at hidden, has ever gotten below like 98 on this. So, skill issue, I fear, for NorCal, but it looks like just Jackson in right now, and Virginia running with that Rectagon RNG failing combo on the aim, going to continue working wonders for them. My question for NorCal is, who do they sub out for Flaro on the aim pick, considering that Flaro was struggling a little bit on the aim earlier? Maybe running in with that Woodchi on the hidden. I wouldn't be surprised. Woodchi is a fairly decent hidden player. And it looks like it is going to be him rocking that third for NorCal, as we see both teams set up ready to go again. And I like NorCal's hidden aim roster, but when you're up against this trio from Virginia, I don't want to count you out early, because this map is technically solo carryable if you see some unfortunate breaks, but I mean, RNG is the lord of aim, and Rectagon has been playing extremely well in this match and failing back on home turf with the aim map here.
I'm curious to see how some of these players adjust. A couple early breaks coming out, or a single early break from Wuchi. There goes Rectagon as well. But yeah, this is a different feel from the rest of the maps played so far, because even though it is an aim map like the Nomod one, the hidden enabled, I think it adds a lot on a map like this, especially with the awkward linear jumps. You can easily catch out players, as we saw Jackson just do right now.
This is looking good for Virginia right now, and especially with these continued breaks from the supporting combos on NorCal. It is Window Life to be the standout player, and it's going to be a slider break for Window Life, unfortunately. The mapping style of this just so difficult to be consistent on Piroshki, known for these slightly more uncomfortable linear aim maps here, and they are claiming lives from the NorCal side as Virginia cleanly makes it through to the halfway point here with unbelievable accuracy on RNG, and I said he was the player to look out for, and well, lo and behold, here it is.
And it looks like I was wrong about failing on this. He looks so very comfortable on this hidden here. Maybe because it's a more simple aim map. A lot of players can play hidden if it's an aim map like this. But there goes failing. Gonna trade a miss out with Jackson and Window Life. So overall, still a really strong position for Virginia. RNG is still holding on to that FC, and Rectagon is right behind him. So ultimately, going into this break, I think this is probably enough to call it at this point. Gonna be another Virginia point, especially as Woodchi finds that drop. There's no combo on the side of NorCal, and the Virginian aimers are going off.
An unfortunate miss from failing, going to be dropping what could have been an unbelievable team score for Virginia here, but it's still going to be quite up there, a 450k before a break from failing. And Window Life and RNG going to continue to go through as we play into the strengths of Virginia once again. They know exactly how to shut California out, and they are just struggling so hard on the NorCal side. They're going to be getting a miracle if they even get to that 1 million score point, and that break from Jackson and Woodchi there is going to come pretty close to preventing that, if not coming just barely over for them. And it is going to be on the last slider. They crest that million score, but not before Virginia puts up well into the mid 2 millions. That is absolutely stellar from them. An 11 100s for RNG, 99.04. Aim players, take notes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you know RNG is going to do that, if you're Window Life, if you're Rectagon and failing, you just got to click like 10 notes to get that 7k to make it up, because RNG is almost going to 1v3 on his own.
That's unbelievable. That is just so cool. That is the first 1v3 we've also seen in this match from RNG on the hidden aim pick. There's a lot of maps I'd pick out in this pool to end in a 1v3 outcome, and there's a lot of matchups this weekend where I'd say 1v3 outcomes are possible. I don't think I would have picked either for this matchup here. So RNG really, really making that one look far too easy, and RNG definitely been making waves lately. I think a contender for USOWC this year, likely, if we continue to see the strong aim from them, even on top of a stacked roster that they already have. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. RNG, if you've been paying attention to a 4-digit World Cup, he was one of the most consistent players in the tournament there. I think only being contested at all by Scylla in that regard.
Damn.
Just like comes in for everything except for speed and just completely knocks it. Like he's just way too strong at this point. And I think he's definitely got a shot at OWC this year. But we're going to stay in the hidden pool for this next map. NorCal going to go for Hidden 2 Hunted. That awkward stream map, 200 BPM. Awkward It's Winter angles. Very easy to find a chain miss on this one.
Well, this is going to remain close for the two teams here, not counting California out, still picking well into their own skill sets, and this is why we talked about at the start of this match, why this could be so close, because they will be able to trade back and forth on these picks. California has a healthy amount of tapping maps to start this match off with, and they've got a good amount of the speed to remain at the ending as well. Virginia, they, I believe, have run out of raw aim picks after this one here. I think the closest thing we're likely going to have left in here is maybe going to be the Free Mod 3 if they want to go for some of that linear aim maybe on the precision end of things, which is going to be a good route for them, but this being the last tapping map, I believe, stream-wise, California is going to be able to go for here. And Virginia, having basically used up most of their raw aim maps, means that we're going to have to start getting into uncharted territory for the remainder of the time. And that's where this match is going to get interesting, especially if NorCal is able to pick up their own map here. But you always have to be careful of breakpoints between these two sides, especially uncontested maps like Mechanics as we get into Hunted.
If you asked me to separate Failing and One Tabby to be the third on the last map and this map, I would have expected One Tabby to play the aim map and then Failing to play the stream map, not the other way around, but that's just the world we're living in now. One Tabby coming in to be the third for this map here. Not the player you expect to see as a stream player, but nonetheless looking very comfortable out of the beginning with 98.5%. Up against Jackson Woodshee and Window Life for the side of NorCal.
Early break from One Tabby there, and a substantial one compared to the early miss that we saw from Rectigon. Hopefully not going to become a trend, otherwise this map is going to fall into California's hands very, very early. And I fear a Jackson Woodshee combo on stream maps. Window Life, you expect to do well on this sort of thing, but this is what Woodshee and Jackson are just so good at. We saw the accuracy from Jackson. Unfortunately, the hidden may be going to provide a little bit more trouble than Jackson wants, especially given the high accuracy. But if you're going to, again, find the player with the drop, you might as well make it the one who has the highest accuracy in the lobby by 3%. And with RNG and One Tabby finding breaks, Woodshee and Window Life going to be able to run away with this one as Jackson puts up a supporting combo, and Rectigon now stands alone with a percent act down on any NorCal player.
Already nearing the halfway point of this map. Looking very good for NorCal right now. Woodshee, though, gonna find the break. Right as I say that, at the halfway point of the map, that's the worst spot you can find the miss. And now the lead is going to start to very slowly go back in favor of Virginia. Really not fast enough for it to be substantial. They need to see another break come out from either Window Life or Jackson. And we're in an intense part of the map. There goes Jackson, too. Oh, Window Life is still there, though.
Jackson Woodshee with the double trade, though. That is massive considering Virginia has a double 500 supporting combo now. That's a 1,000 combo unchecked in Virginia's favor. You can't do anything about this if you're NorCal now. You just have to sit and wait and hope that a combo break comes out. And unfortunately, for California, that combo break is going to come on Jackson, and it is going to be one Tabby and RNG holding double 800 combos now. It is all Virginia's game. The ball is in their court. It is there to lose. And Window Life matching Rectigon, continuing to hold between those two, but it's all about the support once again. RNG finds a break, about 10,000 score into the lead for Virginia, but one Tabby's still going to be able to maintain this one, and this is going to be close into the finish, Miles.
Oh, it's going to be exceptionally close. If any breaks come out from these big combos, it's going to throw the lead over, and there goes Jackson, there goes one Tabby. It's double miss from Virginia. Can Rectigon do it alone? Where are the last notes of the map? Window Life, can you do it? And it goes back to NorCal. Woodchi and Window Life into the ending. They're going to do it. 20K in their favor, and they take a nail-biter back into the ending here. Wow. They survive, and they keep their own pick.
Oh my gosh. Woodchi saving with the supporting combo, and Window Life with the accuracy. You know what the difference there was, Miles, actually? The reverse choke from Rectigon. Rectigon missing 40 combo at the start of the map is the difference of the score on that map. You don't ever think it matters, but it actually ended up making the difference for Virginia, and the supporting combo on Woodchi being 10,000 higher than that, or 20,000 higher than that of one Tabby, also giving away that extra 20,000 score. So there's actually two things working in favor of NorCal there. It's the miss from Rectigon and Woodchi having that extra 20k, both of them contributing to that win for NorCal. And honestly, considering this match is 3-3 right now, and that was potentially the last stream pick for NorCal to go into this map here, that could have potentially saved the match for NorCal there. You let Virginia get a break point there, they go up 4-2, they take their they consolidate that break point on another aim map, that immediately becomes 5-2, and that is a serious lead for Virginia. So California, halfway through the match here, has genuinely prevented doom by winning that map there by 20k.
That is a clutch that they really needed to win. If you want to keep pace with this Virginia team, you can't surrender multiple breakpoints. But yeah, now we're starting to reach the crevice of the night here. You start to maybe see exhaustion come into play for some of these players. If you're in Virginia, it's 1 a.m. We've reached the 5 UTC. It's true USC after dark hours now. Might start to see a little bit of fatigue on some of these players. But we're gonna see the pivot come now for Virginia. They go for the Nomod 5. We've got Shall We Dance. That kind of awkward alt map with a lot of aim control and some awkward stacks as well. The flow aim on this is also very weird. The spacing kind of goes crazy at some parts. And now we're going to see a new look roster come out for Virginia. You aren't probably going to play your mechanics roster here. You still probably see Rectigon and RNG, but maybe a different third perhaps.
Let's see what Virginia has in store on the gimmick. And this is sort of what we talked about between those last two picks, right? Virginia slowly running out of those aim picks, and NorCal slowly running out of the pure stream stamina picks, means that they are now looking elsewhere for opportunities. And Virginia, given their gimmick roster that we've talked about, is going to be good at this sort of map. But the thing that you have to hand to California is we haven't seen a lot of them yet, but that Fiery Rage Tights combo potentially going to come in on a more gimmicky styled Nomod 5, like this one, that's going to have to contest that combo on Virginia. Although we may not see the entire thing, I'd be very surprised to not see at least one of Fiery Rage or Tights on this map. I feel like that's sort of the reason that they are on this roster, is to shred maps like this, and I do agree with getting Fiery Rage at least in for this map. This seems like his sort of thing.
Yeah, this is absolutely a Fire Rage map. There is no tapping in this. It is just all awkward flow aim and reading, aim control, alt map. This is everything that you would see in a good Fiery Rage map. So hopefully he can get the ball rolling here, get some momentum for himself. Maybe as the pool gets whittled down, as we start to run out of mechanics, maybe we'll see another fiery map get picked. Just still a lot of gimmick remaining in this pool, and we were talking about that, which team is going to pivot towards that, and this is kind of our first, I guess, putting our feet in the water. See if either of these teams can take a definitive advantage on this. But this map, it starts out pretty tame for the first third of it, and then you get into the first Ki section, and that's where this map really starts to bear its fangs. Don't expect to see any breaks out of the beginning, just a 30 combo in from Jackson, but that's not really going to do too much.
Yeah, every third this map feels like it just gets harder and harder until that last Ki where this map just becomes so difficult. And I think that this going in Virginia's favor with the accuracy so far is somewhat telling of the confidence, although there is possibility for any small break on this map. But I'm looking for this map to go to tiebreaker, Miles. I want to see these two teams duke it out on a mechanics tiebreaker, and unfortunately, Rectagon, for the first time this match, is actually going to be the one that's going to give that lead away for Virginia, and a breakpoint at this venture in the match for NorCal would be absolutely huge for them to take that lead, especially with their own pick next, because then they flip the tables on Virginia. Then they have the opportunity to force the match point, and that becomes bad for them, and it's already 100K in favor of NorCal as we approach the final third of the map.
This is the hardest part of the map, though. Any break here is going to matter a lot. These cuts are really difficult. Jackson goes down. It's Window Life and Fiery Rage to go up against RNG and 1Tabby in a 1v1. The reestablished combo from Rectagon is going to
bring
some lead back, and then it's another double break, and there goes Fiery 2. 1Tabby, okay, it's RNG. It's RNG.
Oh, boy.
10K. Score lead goes over to Virginia. That's a massive combo lead now for them. 2 big combos, and it looks like they're going to escape with this one. RNG, man, he is holding through the hardest part of this map with ease.
Insanely difficult map in this ending section, and both Rectagon and RNG making it through. 1Tabby with a 99%, by the way. Would anyone like to take a quick note of 1Tabby's accuracy right now? Finally misses it on a significant number of breaks at the ending, but barely misses the 99. And Virginia ends up finishing the map with a 500,000 score difference off of the triple break from California, and barely avoids the break point.
Well, by the end of it, it ends up being a 482K score lead for Virginia. We say barely. I mean, that was a trouncing in the final third of the map. I mean, first third of the map did go definitively towards North California, and I guess the middle portion as well. But once the map really exploded, it was RNG and Rectagon to hold on to those massive combos. And now NorCal, their hand is being forced. Their next pick. Virginia up 4-3.
Dude, that's insane. 1Tabby has 6 100s on that map. That's a single-digit 100 count on one of the most difficult maps. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
I fear for California, but it's their pick, and a lot of people would say that the Free Mod 2 looks pretty good. I say DT1 also looks even better for them. Speedy switch-up map and those 1/6 bursts at the ending of Mega Man, as well as those like faster quick switch aim patterns in the middle. I think DT1 is a great map for NorCal.
For NorCal, I really don't know what they go for. I think I'm more leaning towards Free Mod 2 there. That map, that aim map, higher BPM with the long stream near the end.
I just don't know if I chance the aim at the start. It's so much aim for the first like 3 minutes.
Yeah, it is a lot of aim.
Like, that's basically giving Virginia free combo at the start of the map, and then all you need to do is hold 2 players on the streams.
Oh, Agony.
And it's actually going to be the Free Mod 4! Agony!
Who's flashlighting?
Actually, you know what I just realized would be good for NorCal? Maybe Hard Rock 1, too. That map's just all streams, but with small circles.
Yeah, I think that map could be good for them, but then you're also picking into a Rectagon Classic skill set.
True. But also Window Life special on that one, so you never know. Those two are basically nullified at any given time. Like, if Rectagon Window Life are both in for a map, which I would venture to say that they're both basically in for all mechanics-oriented maps, you could basically just lock the 2 of them out and then look for the other 4, as of what we've seen in the match thus far. Has there been any map where they have, like, not been within, like, super close of each other. The furthest one actually may have been the last map where it was 36k in favor of Window Life on that map. But the map before was basically them double FCing. The map before that was... Okay, the biggest difference was on the hidden pick, actually, where Rectagon definitely shut out Window Life on the combo there.
Okay, one thing that I did see on this map is Fiery Rage and RNG talking in the general channel about potentially 1v1ing this on Hard Rock, which is what I personally want to see.
The Hard Rock 1v1s are the best. It didn't happen yesterday.
It could happen.
It almost happened yesterday. Lights Out and I were going to 1v1 on this with Hard Rock too, but then they didn't pick it.
Hexagon in the lobby for the first time for NorCal types. Their resident gimmick player potentially could be playing the flashlight on this one. Oh, and it looks like Fiery is in, so we might be getting that HR 1v1.
Let's see
Fiery
it.
and RNG on the CS10. We want to see it.
Who even wins that with the precision? I don't even know who would win that duel right now. RNG has definitely been playing better overall this match, but we've seen so little of Fiery so far that I couldn't tell you who would win the duo between the precision on those two. Fiery Rage is like the classic Hard Rock Precision player. RNG is like the new era Hard Rock Precision. And
easy
oh my god, the
Flaro.
overmodding goes insane.
Rectagon taking flat hidden.
Oh my goodness.
Hexagon taking easy hidden. Fiery on the easy. RNG on the flat flashlight.
Flashlight RNG! I love this glitch, by the way.
No easy.
I love this Hard Rock glitch. It looks like RNG is playing Hard Rock FL right now, by the way. This is what HRFL would look like for those in chat wondering on RNG right now.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised that RNG isn't taking easy
It's
alongside
basically what it would look like. Like, it's so funny how similar CS8 and CS10 are.
Oh. Okay.
Well,
this client.
RNG has died. There we go, he's back.
That would be funny.
That would be so sad to lose a player, like, just past the point of abort. Oh, Window Life... Or, not Window Life. No!
This matchup is so funny because you have Window Wife and Window Life, and then you have Jackson, and RNG's name is Jackson.
Oh my gosh.
You have both of them.
So it is a lead in favor of NorCal right now by just a tiny bit off of the break from Rectagon. That extra easy for California, giving them the difference there. California should be about 350k up on what they have right now versus Virginia 100k of that, and it's a 200k difference, so it's a very, very small lead for NorCal right now. That will be gone immediately as Fiery Ridge breaks.
Oh, that's such a tragic miss for Fiery. He missed on basically a stack right there.
Oh, but there goes Rectagon again.
Matched by Rectagon, but I am really surprised that RNG is still holding onto the FC with the flat flashlight. That is extremely impressive. No easy required. He is going CS 8.5 flashlight. So much precision.
This is insane. This CS8 FC would be insane. Oh, he no-locked! He no-locked! I saw the shake! No way! That is not the way you miss on this map. That's insane. He, like, was one note off and then tapped early and it note-locked him because of it. Oh. That would have been so insane of a score, but it's going to be one tabby, the only FC for Virginia in... I'm not saying anything about some of the NorCal players right now. I'm not saying anything.
Nothing is happening. Nothing is
happening. Virginia's map to lose at this point right now. We have so little time left in the map. It's 283k in favor of Virginia. That is going to shrink by the ending, and California has way, way more than that, especially with another break coming out from Rectagon right now, as Fiery Rage has recovered very well from that initial break. Oh my gosh.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything.
I'm not. I'm just letting it happen. I'm waiting for one tabby to pull off the FC, actually. I'm not looking at anywhere else. I'm like, let's go one tabby. No, oh my gosh. All right, we can talk about tights now. We can talk about tights now for the 1-100 on tights. What a great play, though, for Hidden Easy. Like, that is just... Hidden Easy is such a difficult combo to be consistent at overall. Like, to have the reading command over this, even with the practice, is just so absolutely insane. As one tabby finds the break. I'm not saying it until these last sliders, Miles.
Floro, the easy flashlight SS. Easy flashlight SS in semifinals, folks.
Wow.
That is an unbelievable score. Floro, I didn't know you had that in you.
I was unfamiliar with your game.
I was unfamiliar with your game thoroughly. That is a perfect 560k score plus easy. So that's going to be the win for NorCal. That's a photo book finish right there. 2 100s for tights, 0 100s SS for Floro on the easy flashlight.
Shout out to RNG too. 594k CS8 flashlight. That is also absolutely insane. We just had a crazy matchup on that between those two teams, as it now advances 4-4. Now, what does Virginia pick?
This map might have been the first, like, true easy favored free mod. Like, we've had free mods in the past where... You know, you see the players who are actually good at easy take easy and they do well on it. I think that Agony might just be the first actual easy favored free mod I have ever seen.
I can think of one more.
Which one?
I can think of Murloc.
Okay, well,
Murloc.
No.
Murloc is so easy favored, dude.
Okay, yeah, true. You're kind of right.
Murloc was like the OG.
True. But this isn't as bad as Murloc. Or no, Agony is worse than Murloc. Agony is worse than Murloc in that regard.
It's way more obnoxious than Murloc, yeah. But it's, Hard Rock 1.
From Virginia.
Ooh, I don't hate this pick from Virginia, of course, just because they're such a good Hard Rock team, and RNG through FreeMod 4 has proven to us that he is the precision player to beat today. And we know what Rectagon can do to Hard Rock streams. So, by no means, even though I pinned this as a very decent California pick, is this a bad pick for Virginia in any way, actually? I think that this, if they're picking this, it just proves that they're more confident on it than I think I gave them credit for. Which was very high to begin with.
I mean, did you watch the New York match? This map is...
Yeah.
I think it could be the most comfortable map in this matchup as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a similar thing to what we saw in the New York matchup, where if you weren't around for that, we saw a 5-way full combo on this map until about the 2/3 mark. And there was a disconnect, by the way. Yeah, everyone else was just still FCing too. It didn't matter. New York held a 3-way until the very end. This is just a very comfortable map for a lot of people, and it's very precise, though. Almost CS7.
It's 180 BPM streams, and even though it's precision, it's 6.7, which is like perfectly normal precision. So if you play Hard Rock with like any regularity, this is totally fine. Like, especially coming off of Agony before this, these circles are freaking huge. Like, it's just like twice the size.
You know, you're right, actually.
CS8 versus 6.7.
Maybe the approach rate might catch some players off guard, especially if they were just playing easy on that previous map. But, hey, I mean, looking at these guys, mostly not going to be the case. A lot of changed players from the previous map. Jackson and Woochie, at least. Yeah, here we go. So this
I'm
map...
not expecting breaks for the Ki.
Same here.
I don't know, there's just nothing to say at this intro section. Like, we just have to wait. Like, even in the Ki... Honestly, I actually think the sections in between the Ki's might be more apt to see breaks than in the Ki's themselves, because the Ki's are just streams. Like, unless somebody miss-snaps a slider in between one of the streams, I feel like it's super difficult to miss the streams themselves. And there it is, failing. Miss-snaps a slider. Doesn't even miss the stream. And
Kick slider jumps on my stream map.
Yeah, NorCal in the lead on a map that I thought they were going to pick as Virginia starts down, and the last thing you want to do is let up a breakpoint on a match point personal pick, because that gives NorCal full range of this pool to try and take this one back into the ending, and they are looking very, very good. The only thing that's concerning me right now is that accuracy on Woodshee sitting at mid 97% right now, but Window Life and Jackson looking confident right now. We've seen Jackson find some unfortunate misses on aim, and we are very much hoping for California's sake that that does not happen right now, because Virginia will take this back. And oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so sorry, Jackson.
Oh, that was...
Oh my god.
That was egregious. That was egregious, man.
Dude. No way. I just gave Virginia a point. I just gave Virginia a point. Oh no.
You actually
gave Virginia a point. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Dude.
Okay, so that just went from a funny caster curse to a nuclear bomb detonating in San Francisco and affecting all of the players on NorCal.
What?
And now it is Virginia. They've won this pick. That is certain.
Yep. But do they double FC?
Do they double FC? And now we have to think, what could NorCal pick for their final map? They've got DT left. They want to go DT4.
Oh, RNG? What did you just miss on? What? Alright, well, the good news is, even despite the caster curse, NorCal has actually since completely fallen apart, so this would have ended in favor of Virginia anyway, but that still doesn't make it any less funny, dude. Freaking Rectagon right now, dude. Can we just look at this ACK, by the way? Like, failing too, not half bad, 99.5, holding it down. You know what we're looking for is that last space stream that we saw Taquito get caught on.
Yeah, but Rectagon won't miss on that. Rectagon makes space streams look like the Otsu tutorial.
True. This aiming very quick for failing. It's going to be combo into the final streams here. Do we see it? The accuracy holding strong, but does the combo come clean into the ending? He looks so calm. A couple hundreds to drop the 99.8, and it is hit. It's Rectagon 99. Oh my god!
God damn it!
How do you miss the triple?
Oh my god, dude. What the fuck, man?
That's insane. The last triple of the map. That's crazy. The over aim. Oh my god. Apraxia, is that you?
Yeah, leave the lobby and don't come back, Rectagon. Think about what you did.
Think about what you've brought back into this world. Virginia with a freaking handed win on that one. We were so focused on Rectagon's score at the ending that we didn't realize that by the end of that map, it was an 827,000 score gap in favor of Virginia. They could have 2v3'd.
Okay, now my question is, what does NorCal pick from here?
Nomod 3.
Really? I
don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Fremont 2 probably at this point.
Fremont 2? I was thinking they could like throw anything at the wall here. I genuinely don't know what they go for. I think the only thing that wouldn't make sense to me here is DT1. Everything else, I could at least see a vision.
Nomod 3, if they practiced, is the better pick for NorCal, in my opinion, especially over Fremont 2, because Fremont 2 is so much aim at the beginning, and the streams are right at the ending, which means that Virginia has an advantage for 99% of the map, and they're good enough at streams at the ending. That means that any of the aim misses at the start of the map are basically nullified because everyone's going to hit the ending anyway. And it is the Nomod 3. They do go in for it. I knew it. I knew NorCal had it in them.
They had it in them to pick Future Bossa. I mean, I would say, oh, it makes sense. They just picked Agony. It's CS8 when all 3 of their members went easy on it. So this is a different feel. It's still very low AR, very high CS. Yeah, AR2, CS6. So the notes are going to be there for a while. But the roster on this, we've got Fiery and Hexagon. Don't know who is their third on this. I mean, this map is just brutal. And I mean, with final pick nerves, like, Virginia's on match point. NorCal cannot afford to lose this pick anymore.
They cannot, especially as the number 1 seed potentially getting knocked to loser's bracket.
Let me tell you, it would have been much better for Adrenaline if they had picked something like Fremont 2, because this song is just so derp, dude.
I'm not gonna lie, this song is just so blah. Like, this is just nothing. This is nothing. This is elevator music, but worse.
It's USC After Dark.
Turn it up! He turned it up! No!
It's USC After Dark. Give us Slipknot. The people yearn for Slipknot.
For real, bro. I don't want Blue Archive at 30 past midnight. Get it off my screen. Get it away from me. Can we, also talk about how hard this map is, by the way? How many FCs have we gotten on this map this weekend?
Only a few. I feel like... I remember, I think Toybot
we got
FC
one.
This.
It was Toybot at least. I think that might be the only one, actually.
Oh yeah, Bean is right. We don't need Slipknot. We're about to get Ego Schizoid Beat. Ego Schizoid Beat would be the perfect end for a match that has been as close as this one. But
so true.
First, NorCal has got to convert on this pick, and this Virginia roster is not to be trifled with. RNG, Rectigon, 1 Tabby. On a map like this, 1 Tabby, this is the exact type of map where he can be very lethal. So watch on his screen.
It's such a good roster for NorCal, though. This is like, if there was ever a pick NorCal was going to take TB on, it's this one. Flora has looked so good on the reading in this match. Very clearly, she has practiced the ever-living shit out of this pool. Fiery Rage, this is his skill set. And Tights, like, this is why Tights is on the team for NorCal, isn't it? Like, reading? So, dude, like, this is prime.
I just can't believe this is the last map we're getting. Actual elevator music.
2 minutes, by the way. 2 minutes, which is not a lot of time. Rectigon finds a break. This is the start of the end.
Ooh. Are we getting Ego Schizoid? We've still got a lot of map to go. Here we go into the little Ki section. It's a 60k lead for NorCal. Only the 1 break from Rectigon at the halfway point now. The breaks are going to mean the most here.
The ending's the hard part. This second half is the hard section here. Coming after this bit right here is where we're going to see the most breaks. Starting right here, the back and forths. Does anyone misread?
Oh my god, they're all hitting it, dude. What the hell?
Everyone is going to hit this. No way. Is 1 miss from Rectigon going to be the difference here? Surely or are we going to see a break from someone else? Surely someone misses one of these wide angles here, right? It's Rectigon again. And 1 Tabby! We're going to TB. It's time.
Wait, Hexagon.
It's 1 miss, though. It's just RNG with a quarter of the map, and it's 300k. There's no way.
Okay, Fire Rage. It's
Floro needs to hold for like 4 more seconds. 4 more seconds. It's 300k score gap, and RNG has 200k. This is insurmountable. NorCal has done it. They have forced Tiebreaker against Virginia.
We're getting it. Chat, what time is it, Chillier? It is 5:30 UTC, and
it's so time.
Beat. Oh my god, Floro misses right at the very end, but there's no time. RNG FCs, but it doesn't matter. We're going to Ego Schizoid Beat.
It's time. I'm so excited for this. A mechanics TB between 2 of the best mechanics teams in this tournament. Gimme that shit.
Dude, and this song, too. This is Demitori's best song, man.
This is top tier.
It's so good. But let me just say, man, Floro, those performances on the gimmick maps, that is unbelievable. I had no idea Floro was that good at reading. At the easy flashlight, dude. That map, dude. Unbelievable carry performance, man.
Don't we talk about this all the time? Like, for some reason, the skill set overlap between players who are stupid good at speed and really good at reading is, like, bizarre, right? Like, does this happen way too often?
It's weird. There's just, like, a tendency. I just don't get it. Where, like, sometimes the best speed players who play like extremely high AR stuff, they go down to low AR and they pick it up like it's nothing.
They gotta have both ends of the spectrum, right? Like, they gotta have the high and the low. I don't get it. It's crazy. Everything is reading. You're right. If you can read AR-11, you can probably read AR-6. Bartek Arnold. So true, Verta. So true.
Okay, so I guess I might as well talk about this map for a bit. You see 8 minutes and 38 seconds. For a lot of it, it's just a typical stream map, but there are some tricky finger control sections, especially as you get to the second half. There's a lot of 1/6 bursts that can really trip you up, and that is something that I'll fear for players like RNG or One Tabby who are sitting in the lobby. If they haven't practiced and they go up into those 1/6, they could get caught out. And I think the most important one is right after the first chorus of this map, or the first Ki, sorry, there's a finger control pattern, there's a triple into an alt pattern, and I think that's the most important pattern of the map, because if you miss that, you're losing a slow part's worth of combo, and the Ki's worth of combo, so gonna be looking at that. But nonetheless, this is a metal map, and you've got a team with Rectigon on it.
True. I am so interested in what comes down to this map, because it's a mechanics TB, and a lot of this map is streams because it's a Demetori map, but there's also plenty of aim because you have 8.5 minutes of mechanics, which is naturally going to include some fairly, verbose jump sections throughout the entire time. So the Rectigon and Window Life duo is already going to be something we're looking out for, but I am just so interested in who's going to be the more consistent pair between these two teams, because this is basically going to be like the two people do really well and maybe one person finds a few breaks for both sides. So who are going to be those two players for NorCal and Virginia, and who's going to be the odd man left out? Or are we going to see a three-way stellar performance from either of these two teams, given what we've seen Virginia be capable of thus far, and where NorCal is maybe going to want to recover? Jackson has had amazing acts so far, but has dropped combo at unfortunate parts.
But yeah, a lot can happen in an 8.5 minute tiebreaker. The nerves are gonna start flaring up. The rosters are set. We're getting into it. It's Woodchi, Window Life, and Jackson up against RNG, Failing, and Rectigon. NorCal versus Virginia. It all ends here.
This is the winner's bracket run end for one of these two teams here today. Who is going to go down and face off with 2 matches per week? The loser of this match faces off against the winner of Texas, Colorado, which is going to be close. That'll be next weekend, but we still have this to determine. The intro section looking good for these two teams. A little bit higher accuracy for Virginia, but we're looking for any breaks, these 1-6 to come through, these switches between, and the nerves to take over, Miles. 8.5 minutes of TB will do things to your fingers.
I can tell you a thing or two about that, but yeah, no. Right now, you cannot miss at this part of the map. Absolutely not. This is the easy section of the map. It only gets harder as it goes on. Once you're in that final third, you're really going to struggle to hold combo if you're not comfortable on that part of the map. So, need to hold the combo while it's free, and you don't want to put your team in a hole early.
This is going to be a big section here as we approach the quarter way mark of this map. That's a little over 2 minutes in, coming up close here. And we still have no breaks, Miles. We're looking at unbelievable accuracy on a couple of players here. A little bit lower on some accounts, making it through these doubles, through the jump section here, that one back and forth. And this is going to be a nail-biter past quarter way. 4K in favor of Virginia, and no misses have come out yet. I'm not seeing any shakes from any of these players yet as well, which means they're going to be holding this down for a bit. Nobody messes up the finger control on the doubles there either. Everyone is so in the zone right now. Who breaks the focus first? Who lets the misaim come through early? Who potentially over-aims one of these more dense streams here? It all comes down to this pre-halfway section here. If we get a 6-way FC into the halfway of this map, I'm gonna lose it.
This is the first TI section, long stream section here. We're about to get to that very important pattern I told you about. The triple into the alt pattern. We see Woodchi finds the drop there. But here we go. Jackson!
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
All right, here it is. Here it is. Is anyone going to break here?
Nobody on Virginia.
Some people match through it, but they match through it. It's still a 3-way for Virginia. Window Life's the only combo for NorCal. This is horrible for NorCal.
That is the worst double break positioning I have ever seen in a tiebreaker, by the way. Literally right before the halfway point. This is insane. And I think, by the way, this is going... If NorCal does not catch the craziest break here ever, and they go down, this is going to be a fairly early time for NorCal to fall to the losers bracket relatively. I feel like this semifinals has become the trend as of recent for them, but seeing both Californias in the losers bracket in the finals weekend is going to be crazy if they can't make a turnaround here. In Virginia, making quick work towards the halfway point here, making it through these 1-6 bursts, hitting the transition. There goes Window Life, failing, finds a break, but it's all but not lost for NorCal as Rectigon and RNG, the duo from hell, prevails, and they make it towards this halfway point with the double FC.
Yeah, man. You do not want to see this if you're NorCal or a NorCal fan. RNG and Rectigon just doing what they have done for the last couple of years now. RNG does break, but you're staring down Rectigon on a stream map with the FC, man. There's nothing you can do.
I'm also sorry to say, but this is 240k in favor of Virginia on an 8-minute TB. That amount of score lead on a TB this long is unfreaking believable to be, and we're barely past halfway too. This can only continue going. The question is now, how long does Rectigon hold for? We know that Virginia has this one in the bag at this point, Miles, I think with 300k here, considering California has one combo on Woodchi. The question is, how long does this maintain for the side of Virginia, and how far does this score lead go by the ending as our reigning champions of United States Cup once again make it to finals weekend in the winner's bracket?
And you know, once again, we talked about it earlier in this match, Virginia has been playing close matches this entire tournament. They haven't been blowing out opponents like, say, New York has. But when it comes to clutch time, there is just about no team we've ever seen that doesn't like them, man. Rectigon, third of the map left to go, 333k of lead. It's just, is this guy gonna FC this at this point?
Act 2! It's so confident and great accuracy, by the way, on the side of Window Life as well, despite that one break, 98.5%. Looking good on failing as well, above 98. Anything above 98 on this TB is very, very good, especially given its length and the high stakes of a tiebreaker in match. Makes it through the space stream there. Woodchi the only one to fall on that section. And again, we're really not looking for the comeback here from NorCal. We're really just looking for how much distance this can be. And it's going to be failing to find a break. So Virginia going to lose one of those supporting combos. RNG, though, 1,000+ matching anything from Window Life. And we do see a break from Rectigon. We won't see the FC, unfortunately. But now eyes on RNG Window Life for the big combo into the ending here as we see a 700k from Rectigon.
Yeah, just an unreal performance when his team needed it most. Very great stuff from him, and he will once again be carrying Virginia into their, I believe, third straight winners finals appearance. And as Yoshi Lover said in the chat, I think this adds to their 15 win streak in USC. No one has been able to beat them.
The question is, next weekend now, Virginia versus New York. It's a rematch of the winners finals from last year. Does New York, with the performance we've seen them pull out in this tournament thus far, finally turn the tides? Do they send Virginia packing to the losers bracket in the finals, or does Virginia continue this run? And given the performances of both of these teams this weekend, I'm not entirely sure which way that one goes as we see the final couple seconds of the tiebreaker roll through here. RNG 1700 combo, Rectigon pulling up over 3,000 combo with a 99.3% accuracy play coming into the ending here. Window Life putting up as much score as possible into the ending, but what do you do against a near 800k performance on a tiebreaker from Rectigon, the myth of the United States tournament scene, one of the best tournament players in the world consistently, holds through the 1-6 at the ending, gonna barely miss the 99, and sends NorCal packing to losers bracket as Virginia once again reaches winners finals.
And that is GG, well played to NorCal.
What a performance from RNG into the ending there, too. 2,000 combo from the support on RNG into the side. And that is the conclusion, the tiebreaker of this weekend. We will see at least one. We're not done with matches yet, but it's good to get one in the winner's bracket. NorCal falls to the lower bracket to face off against the winner of Texas versus Colorado next weekend. And the other half of the bracket decided going to be SoCal falling to the losers bracket as well to face off against the winner of Oregon, Connecticut. Both of the losers bracket matches going to take place tomorrow. But congratulations to our winners finalists. It's going to be Virginia, New York, the rematch this year.
And I mean, the optics of that match just seems so fun to me because New York, I feel like after this match, we have to define their trait to be domination because they just win maps by so much. They get three-way FCs on their picks. They look so strong. But Virginia, they play a little more scrappy, but they still win nonetheless. So it's a little bit of, I think, different styles there in a way.
The pressure. Do they hold with the pressure on? That's it.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it came out weird.
Good stuff from both the teams here. Congratulations to Virginia, and that is not the last that anyone is going to be seeing of North California. If you're a NorCal fan, they simply move on to the losers bracket along with SoCal from that upper side, and that is the top 8 teams in the tournament decided. Going to be NorCal, Virginia, New York, South California, Oregon, Connecticut, Texas, and Colorado, your top 8 of United States Cup this year. We will be deciding the top 6 after tomorrow with 2 more matches to go for the weekend.
Really exciting night we had here at USC. Bunch of crazy matches. I mean, I still don't know if anything beats the Connecticut upset, but this match was surely something.
Exceptional from all teams involved. Best of luck to the 2 lower bracket matches tomorrow. Only 2 of those 4 teams advancing into the finals weekend. Those will be decided late tomorrow night, and I believe slightly earlier. The latest match we have going to be for UTC on Monday, Colorado versus Texas. And the other matchup, Oregon, Connecticut, going to be at 23 UTC on that hour. That's going to be midnight Eastern and 7 p.m. Eastern for those 2 matches. Minus 3 hours on those for your Western time, -1 for Central, and -2 for Mountain time if you're interested in those. But just a couple more to go before we finish off the semifinals weekend, move to finals, and get yet another fantastic map pool showcase to come through on, I believe, what will be Monday, considering the latest matches for UTC on Monday.
But until then, that's going to be it for tonight. Had a nice long block of matches, but time to get some sleep. Thank you all for watching. I've been Miles with Chillier, and I hope you all have a good rest of your night.